Hi lovers, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you are doing well. Welcome back. If you're a returning subscriber and OG, and if you're a new subscriber, welcome baby. I do hope you stay and subscribe down below. Become part of the positive family where we're all about positivity. Okay?
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with
Yes, honey. So in today's video, I would like to talk about, I would like to give a review. Is it a review? I don't know if I should call it a review, but I would really like to talk about a show that I have been watching on Netflix that I feel like it's very, very important for me to share about so that you all can go and watch it and experience it for yourself and just get all the knowledge and all the wisdom from the show about HIV positive people, about HIV in general, about sexual orientation, about health, about abuse, gender-based violence, and all sorts of things, all sorts of issues that are. I'm so sorry for the noise outside, child. So, as I was saying before I got interrupted by the noise, as I was saying that I feel like this show is very informative. I feel like it's a show that all of us should watch, especially the younger generation, the young kids, and the teenagers, and like that generation that's still growing and still needs to learn a lot about these things, and also people who like, what can I say, people who are new into this HIV positive living thing, like people who are newly diagnosed and have no information whatsoever. Maybe they have information but it's kind of limited, and they're so worried about their lives, and if it's the end of their journeys and their lives. But with the show, I feel like if all of us watch it, yeah, we'll be more informed on this. We'll be more informed on like all these issues that are so worrying in today's generation, that they're not spoken about a lot, or if they're spoken about, some things are omitted, or some things are hidden from people or from kids and stuff like that. So I'm talking about, I'm sure you're wondering, like, well, what is this show talking about? So I'm talking about MTV Shuga Down South. Yes, MTV Shuga Down South. So this is a show, it's an old show, and I'm so surprised why I did not get to watch it when I was still young, when I was still a little kid. I don't know why I could not watch it, or why I did not have access to it. One thing about me, when I was growing up, I loved watching TV. Like, TV was my thing. I watched TV while I was taking a bath in the morning to go to school. I watched TV when I came back after couple, after homework. It was TV all the way up until after Mobango. Or even after Mobango, we watch Speak Out. We watch show Edzerang after Mobango. Like, I was that kid who was always glued to a TV. And that's where I learned a lot of like my speaking, in terms of like English speaking. I learned it from just like watching TV, and of course school. But if you went to a township school, you know that they teach everything in the language that is dominant in the Lokshin. Okay, so English was taught in Setswana. Everything was taught in Setswana, so it was hard to learn English, like just learn English and be fluent in English and speak English. So I learned most of my English watching TV, like Yo, That's So Raven. I watched like a lot of shows. So I'm so surprised I didn't get to watch this show, or I didn't have access to it. I don't know what happened. But I remember I watched MTV Shuga. I think it was the Kenyan version or the Kenya one. I don't quite remember, but the MTV Shuga thing is not new to me, or to my ears, or to my eyes. But this one in particular is very new. So the first season Yeah, season 1, I think it's from back in 2017, and then season 2 is from 2019, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just watching this now, and I'm like, this is the show that we need. This is the show that we need. MTV Shuga is the age, and I don't know if it's still a thing now or it's still being produced now, but if it is not being produced, I so wish that it still continues. Like, I so wish that someone, why revamp, why resurrect, because MTV Shuga is the thing to watch, and it's the thing to show on television for the younger kids and the younger generation that are growing right now, who needs this information. Okay, so MTV Shuga down south is giving me a lot of Soul City vibes. Okay, Soul City vibes. I loved Soul City. I love Soul City. It was so informative. I loved Intersections. It's giving me also intersection vibes. I just love it. I just love it. I just love these shows where you get to learn a lot and get a lot of information and knowledge from watching the shows. I like just watching for entertainment purposes. You get entertained, but while also learning stuff, and you get a lot of faces. I'm so excited that we have a South African version, or like an African version of these kind of shows, because then you can look at these people on the screen and relate to them, right? And relate to the environment that they're in, because it's the environment that you live in, or it's the people that you grew up around and stuff like that. So I love it. So in the description here, it just says the educational drama series lands in South Africa, where young people navigate issues around their sexual health, sexual orientation, and well-being. So in this show, I watched season 1. I don't remember when I watched season 1, but it was this month. Early this month, I think. So I'm just like that kind of person who kind of scrolls through Netflix to find something to watch, and like sometimes the things that people watch on Netflix, like popular things that people watch on Netflix, sometimes they don't interest me, and I just want to watch something authentic, something nice, something I can relate to, something me, So I was searching through shows that are made in Africa or made in South Africa. I think there's that category on Netflix. So that's what I was doing, and then I came across MTV Shuga. There are different versions of MTV Shuga. Like when I tap Shuga, there's MTV Shuga Niger, and then there's MTV Shuga Love 6 Money. I think the one here, Lupita Nyong'o, Love 6 Money. I think that's the one I watched. But then there's MTV Shuga Down South, which is the one in the South Africa. Alright, so searching, I was like, oh, there's MTV Shuga South Africa, let's watch. And I was blown away. It is an old show, so the quality is not really giving now vibes, but I love it nonetheless. Regardless, I feel like it's underrated, because it's so educational and so informational. So in the show, we have like young people. It's about young people most of the show. So it's about young people who are trying to go through this life thing, experience this life thing, and maneuver this life thing. And what is it all about? They're exploring, and they're in the process, they're finding themselves, they're growing, and they're learning about themselves and who they are and who they want to be and who they've grown to be, and who, it's just that show where you get to see young people grow through the show. Like there's this one character that I saw the growth, like from season 1 up until season 2, is the character of Bongi. Bongi, like when she came onto the show at first, she was this girl who came to live with her aunt, and she came from Nigeria. Her parents, I think, relocated to Nigeria. Now she came to live with her aunt, in Zenzele, Lokshin, you know, and when she comes there, she's just this girl who's young, teenager, trying to live life, you know, and be a teenager. But then she comes across challenges, you know, she comes across challenges where she goes to visit her friend who works at a club, and then she gets dropped to Mandela Bridge. Mandela Bridge. She gets dropped to Mandela Bridge. That's one of the challenges she faced. And then now she's getting into the dating world, and also she's new in the township and new school, trying to make other friends because she already had a friend and childhood friend, Reggie, but she's like, you know, she's trying to like explore this town. What is it all about and stuff? And she dates this guy, a DJ, right? This DJ was a cool guy. Nothing was wrong with the DJ. Like, she's just the good guy. In fact, opposite of what you would expect a DJ to be like. Because most of the time, DJs like women or women like them, and some don't reject the women, you know. But that guy, he was so sweet. He loved Bongi. And now Benga is getting into this love thing. She doesn't come home. She's just a mess. And her aunt is a nurse. So immediately, I love also the character of the aunt. I just forgot the name. She's a nurse, and she finds out that Bongi is dating, right? And she calls Bongi and the guy into the house, and she explains to them about sexual health, and she gives them condoms, and she talks about options that they can take to protect themselves from contracting HIV, and also for the girl to protect herself from getting pregnant. I just love how she's open with Bongi, which is what we don't see a lot in South African homes, where you get a parent being super open to their child about sexual health and sexual orientation, and like letting the child be themselves while they as the parent give them an ear and help guide them through this life thing. So Auntie didn't reject the guy, it didn't reject the idea of Bongi dating, but she helped, she involved herself, and she made this dating experience for Bongi to not be that hard. Say, you know, I know you're dating and I won't stop you from having sex, but the least I can do is to help you, to give you the knowledge that you need to protect yourself from things such as HIV and STIs and getting pregnant, right? And after their conversation, she opened up to Bongi. Bongi was able to now go visit the clinic and get a contraceptive. And she was able to now be open with the boyfriend about using a condom. And wada, you know. And then yeah, that's one thing also loved. Like Bongi, like, yeah, she experienced a lot of growth. I saw her grow. Yeah, and in season 2, so in season 1, but you just need to watch the show, okay? Watch the show so that I don't ruin it for you. But Bongi got infected with HIV. Yena no guy no, the DJ boyfriend. So the DJ boyfriend had a girlfriend before Bongi. He was loyal to the girlfriend, but however the girlfriend wasn't loyal to the guy, right? So Bongi suggested that they get tested. Well, before she suggested that they get tested, because they trusted each other, right? And they knew the HIV statuses that they were negative. Sometime Bongi said, oh, I don't have a condom, you don't have a condom, let's just have sex without a condom, because since we know our statuses and we're fine. So that happened. And then after, Bongi kind of realized that, oh, what if, yeah, the guy was faithful to the girl, but what if the girl wasn't faithful to the guy? So let me suggest to the guy that we go together as a couple to get tested for HIV, because we don't know what the girl was doing behind the guy's back. Okay, so they went to get tested for HIV, and they found out that they both were HIV positive. Remember, the guy got it from the ex-girlfriend, and she passed it on to Bongi, right? It was such um what do you call it, like it was a moment where this love was tested, this relationship was tested, because now Bongi was angry, and she had no reason to be angry at the guy, to be honest, because the guy also didn't know, and it wasn't the guy's sole decision to have sexual intercourse without a condom. It was both their decision, so she had no right to be angry at the guy. But also her feelings are valid, like her feelings are valid. I can imagine. I don't know how it feels to be infected by someone like who you trusted, or a boyfriend or something like that. I don't know how that feels, but I can imagine that you were fine, you were born fine, you were living your best life, and then the next thing you're infected with HIV by someone else. Honey, yeah, that tests your faith a lot. So I feel like this relationship of theirs was tested, and they went through a rough time, a rock and fall type of time. Okay, so their relationship didn't survive. Okay, it didn't survive. They tried, but it didn't survive. And also, I love the fact that in the show they talk about HIV and the different ways that you can protect yourself from contracting HIV. Right? Though the characters contracted, but they've spoken about the ways in which you can protect yourself. In season 1 they were speaking about condoms, and then in season 2 now they're bringing in the PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis. They're bringing it in now that you can protect yourself against HIV by taking PrEP, because you don't know what your partner is doing behind your back and what their partner is doing behind their back. So you want to protect yourself, especially if you know that you have multiple partners, so PrEP is the thing, right? So in season 2 they're bringing in PrEP, right? But they're not only focusing on the prevention. They're not only focusing on the prevention aspect of things. They're also bringing in the living with HIV positively part of things, which is what I love, which is what I'm all about. That, hey, yes, we got this thing now. What now? But what happens now? How is my life changing now? Yes, I try to protect myself from contracting it. Or yes, I tried, but now I have it. What now? Some of us didn't even have to try. It was already there, child. It was already there. We were born with it. Okay, so what now? Is my life over? What happens now? Am I gonna have a family? Am I gonna have a partner and have a sexual relationship with my partner that is normal? That is not weird and awkward. They talk about the living with HIV part. Now that you have HIV, what can you do to protect your partner or your partners from protecting HIV? That's when they talk about PrEP for your partner. If you're negative and your partner is HIV positive, they talk about you taking the PrEP and always using a condom, because other STIs, and pregnancy, of course. And they also talk about as the carrier of the virus, or the person who's living with the virus rather, how do you live with this thing, making sure that you don't throw away your life while you're at it. They speak about taking your ARVs correctly, eating healthy, taking care of your health, like physical health, mental health, just taking care of yourself in general, and reducing on the alcohol. Don't be alcoholic every day, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that you keep your viral load low. They touch on all of those things, and I so wish, I don't know, maybe there's a season 3, but I hope that there's a season 3. But this was the show that I'm watching now on Netflix. It has season 1 and season 2. So if we've watched the show like previously, like if it has season 3 and what actually happens in season 3, if there is season 3. Comment down below if you have watched the show. If you haven't watched the show, please go watch the show. It's on Netflix. It's called MTV Shuga Down South. I'll put the screenshot of the thingy here so you know what it looks like on Netflix. Go search for it and go watch it, especially if you're living with HIV. It's gonna give you a lot of hope. It's gonna give you a lot of upliftment that it's not the end of the world, child. You can still live, because Bongi actually gets a guy. Bongi gets a guy in season 2. She has a little boyfriend, and she's open with the boyfriend. She discloses her status to her boyfriend, and like, yeah, it's just so positive. This thing is just so positive, and also has the negative side of it, like this gender-based violence where like a woman is killed by her abusive man at the end of season 2. Like, there is that, and then there is the part about sexual orientation where Bongi's best friend Reggie is gay in season 1. Like, he is not welcomed by his friends, or they're not they don't like the fact that he's gay, and they think he's weak, and then and that. But then as the show goes on, they kind of accept that fact that Reggie is gay, and him being gay does not change who he is. He's still the Reggie that they know. He can still hang out with them, yeah. So it touches on a lot of issues that I feel like young people must watch the show for information, for education, for entertainment, and just like, it's so, I like it. I love how it just is informative. And also there's another girl in season 2 in varsity. She's dating this older man for money, while the man is paying her fees, and the money also is taking care of her younger siblings and her mother, who are back at home in Rustenburg. Like, but I like how the girl is so focused. She's here. She's focused. She's here. She's protecting herself. She's saying, Mina and the guy, every day we use a condom. But for extra precautions, I'm gonna go to the clinic and find out what are my options to protect myself further if it happens that the condom bursts or something happens with the condom. She goes to the clinic, and the clinic tells her about PrEP. She gets on PrEP immediately. It's like, I'm gonna protect myself, and I just love it. Like, it's such a positive show to watch. For young people, I recommend that you go and watch the show, especially for those of us who are living with HIV and want to know how we can live with HIV positively. Of course, you watch my YouTube channel. You watch Nozibele Kamgana Mayaba's YouTube channel. She's also awesome. And then you go and you watch MTV Shuga Down South, and you watch all the other MTV Shugas. I tell you, you will gain that positive vibes inside of you and actually realize that it's not that bad. Like, it's not that bad. It's not the end of the world. There is life after the positive test. And it's incredible how you can find a boyfriend, you can get married and have kids who are HIV negative, mind you. Little babies who are HIV negative. Imagine that. So don't like, after receiving that HIV positive test, of course you're going to be sad and stuff, but don't stay in that sadness and dwell on it and throw away your life when there's so much to life that you can experience with your HIV positive self. Remember, it does not define you. It's just living with you, within you. You're living with it, and you can control it. Like, you can control it by taking your ARVs correctly, keeping the viral load low. You definitely have the power to control it. So yeah, I'm done. That was my, I don't know if I should call it review or recommendation of MTV Shuga Down South, but if it is not clear and I didn't get it clear inside your skull, your head, and your ears, please go watch MTV Shuga Down South and all the other MTV Shugas. I'm gonna get into them also. I just wanted to emphasize this one because it's the South African one, and I'm pretty sure when you watch it, you feel like you can relate to the kids there, you can relate to the girls and the boys on the show, and you can relate to everything that they're going through, you know, because it's like proudly South African. So yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed the video. I really hope that I sparked some, what is it? I sparked some interest in watching these educational shows. Like, you must know, Soul City used to be the thing, you know, so I so wish these educational shows can come back, like your Soul Buddies, like stuff like that. I don't watch TV no more, like TV, actual SABC 1, 2, Mzansi for sure. I don't watch that anymore because I don't have TV at home. But like, if there are those kind of shows, please comment down below which are these shows, and make sure that your kids watch them. Make sure that your sisters and your little brothers and your aunts and your gogos and watch these shows, because they're really informative and they can like eradicate a lot of ignorance in the communities, you know. So that is all, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please give it a huge, massive, giant thumbs up. Yes, and comment down below what TV shows are on screen now that are educational and informative, and comment down below what else you would like to see on my channel, whatever you want to comment. And also, if you've watched MTV Shuga Down South, what did you think of the show? Just right there. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. It's free, like it's just free. Subscribe and you get to see my face a lot, and this pretty face, you get to see it a lot. And share the video if you think it will help someone else out there. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's it. And also, if you're wondering, this is me on a daily. This is how I stretch my hair. But hair content is coming, don't worry, it's coming. But I just wanna explain my hair situation right here. It's not cute, but it's not bad. Okay, it just keeps my head and my hair intact when I need it to be. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
You wanna say to me now, I wanna wake up with